with spasmodic dysphonia that we have a vagus nerve issue. So the vagus nerve is the emotional center of the body. Oftentimes what happens when we have traumas or we have a period of long-term stress, the vagus nerve gets damaged. And that is what happens with spasmodic dysphonia. The vagus nerve and its branches that control the voice are damaged, and that's why we lose our ability to properly talk and all that good stuff. Sometimes we can feel a little stuck when we're in a trauma loop or this kind of recurring theme in our lives where we're kind of just can't move past it. That is a big block for us to move forward in our physical healing because we haven't managed to rectify and kind of make peace with the other aspects of the trauma. When we undergo a very traumatic or upsetting situation and we don't have proper glucose in the brain, parts of our brain that get damaged. So the neurons, the neurotransmitters get burned out, and then we have this kind of like singed pathway there that then we're kind of caught in an OCD loop, if you will. So, of course, we need to work on healing the nerves in general, the nerves in our vagus nerve and all of that good stuff, but then also parts of the brain that have been damaged, how to support that brain tissue and bring it back to life. There are things that there are coping mechanisms that happen when we undergo trauma. A lot of times, traits of our personality come to light during that time or actually become dominant because those are the parts of our personality that actually help us navigate the trauma. When we have chaos going on around us, threatening situations, oftentimes we have coping mechanisms. So I'll just give you a couple of examples of coping mechanisms that came up for me. I had a kind of a chaotic childhood. Unfortunately, even the best parents do some damage. We can't help it. We're human beings, and unfortunately, we all have trauma, of varying degrees from our childhood. And they can be big, traumatic events, or it can be simply such as something like, my dad was very volatile. And so we were kind of always walking on eggshells around as kids. I developed different ways of coping with that. So I'm a pleaser. Many of the things that I'm going to be saying, in my experience with all of the people that I have dealt with spasmodic dysphonia, we all have some traits in common.